Hey guys, it's Bridget with San Diego Seed Company, and we are on the farm, and I want to talk about dwarf tomatoes. Man, I know I talk about them a lot, but we're going to take a look at them and you're going to see how amazing they are and why I can't stop talking about them. But before I get into that, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so you're notified anytime we put out a video. Okay, so we talk about dwarf tomatoes a lot, and there's a million questions, and I'll go over them, but look at the size of this plant. It's so cute, it's so little. It looks like a little Christmas tree, but look at the tomato on this plant. Come on. That is not a tiny tomato that is growing on a very small plant. So what is the appeal of these plants? Well, if you were growing on a balcony or in a patio, or even just in a normal urban or suburban garden, you may not have room for a massive tomato plant. This is nice and small and orderly. You can use one stake to keep it up, and it can give you really big, beautiful tomatoes. So it's important to keep in mind that dwarf tomatoes refers to the size of the plant, not the tomato. This is not a dwarf tomato. That is a nice, large, beautiful slicer that's definitely going to go on a BLT later, and it's really flavorful and juicy. Now keep in mind, dwarf tomatoes are a very wide category of tomatoes, and they come in all kinds of shapes and colors and sizes. So this is a very large, beautiful red tomato. Let's go check out a different dwarf and I'll see what that looks like. So here's a different dwarf, again, very small plant and loaded with tomatoes. I mean, look at this. So this is more of a Roma style tomato. Again, dwarf plant, very different size and shape and flavor of the tomatoes. But if you look down this row, you can see how loaded these plants are, and they're tiny. So again, dwarf refers to the size of the plant, not necessarily the tomatoes. And keep in mind, we are growing dwarf tomatoes at our farm and doing seed production for them. They are on the website, and you can actually put in to be notified when our inventory is filled. They will sell out very quickly. We only grow and save so many seeds every single year. So sign up to be notified on the product page, or sign up on our newsletter so that you're notified when we put them in stock and you can get them. Most of our dwarf tomato varieties will sell out before springtime, so get them this fall as soon as the seeds are ready so that you're ready next spring to have beautiful small plants and lots of tomatoes. Okay, so let's take a look at a few more varieties. Okay, so what varieties do we have going on? Well, we're trialing tons of varieties, like this particular one called Sweet Sue. Really neat variety, but they're not ready yet. I haven't tasted them, and they may not make it into our catalog because the flavor of the tomatoes may not be good enough for our customers. So we trial tons and tons of varieties every single year so we can figure out what is the best of the best and get that to you so that you can enjoy them in your garden. Here's another really neat, crazy looking one. This is Stony Brook Special, and you can actually look at it and see that it's really almost iridescent. Really cool tomato. Total different flavor. And look at these guys. Oh my gosh. Look at that. So again, they come in all kinds of shapes and sizes and colors. Over here, we have these absolutely adorable little guys. Look at this. This is Franklin County. The plants themselves are absolutely incredible. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of blooms on them and lots of tomatoes. And what's great about these is basically really good. Wow. Not very good at eating on camera. Look at this fatty for daddy. Come here. Here's another beauty. Look at that. So again, we've totally ran the gamut in just this short video of different colors and shapes and types of tomatoes that are all on dwarf-sized plants. So look behind me and you can see all of these different rows are different varieties of dwarfs. And if you're sensing a pattern, we're kind of obsessed with dwarf tomatoes. And that's because I want everyone to grow tomatoes. And if they're smaller, more compact plants, it's a lot more easy for you to grow them and a lot more accessible for people in small spaces. So we've got tons of varieties here that we're either trialing or doing seed production of. We've got Chocolate Lightning, we've got Dwarf Lucky Snake, we've got Buddy's Heart, Katie did, another snake, Rosella Purple. The list goes on and on and on. And we're trialing them to find out what the best of the best are, and those are gonna make it into our catalog. And you can grow these next spring in your garden and have a lot of great tomatoes in a very small space.